Well, hi there. It's your Uncle Pal to Tech, and I wanted to give you an update on the 16 to 55mm lens. I guess it was about a week or so ago, Fujifilm released firmware update 1.30, and that update was supposed to improve exposure tracking during zoom operation of the lens. Unfortunately, on February 1st, Fujifilm completely pulled down that firmware as it was causing problems when it was installed on a number of cameras. And I must say, they responded really quickly because now firmware update 1.31 has been released. In fact, I'm a little late to the party. It was released on February 5th, but it is available for this lens. And check it out, they call it emergency countermeasure firmware. Anyhow, it is now perfectly safe to download and install the firmware update 1.31 on the lens. So for those of you who have never updated the firmware on your lens before, it's real easy. Simply attach the lens to your camera, right? And then once you have the firmware downloaded to your SD card and you have the SD card in the camera, simply press and hold down the DISP back button, and while you're holding it down, turn on the camera, and then update your lens from there. If you install this update 1.31, the new one, the one that fixes everything, you're not going to get the improvement to exposure that was in the firmware update of 1.30. All that's basically going to happen is that your camera is going to sort of reset the lens back to the state that it was in when you had firmware 1.20 installed. In other words, by applying the fix, you lose the new exposure feature. Hello? Okay, I had to restart this because I had to deal with a phone call. Where was I? Oh, right. If you only installed the 1.20 update on this lens, then you don't need to do anything today at all. Sit tight, don't worry about it. You don't need to worry about installing that fix. And I'm sure one day soon Fujifilm will release yet another update that will resolve the exposure issue on this lens, but be safe to install. Well, anyhow, I hope this has been helpful for you, and I gotta go make some videos now. Looks like I'm walking the rest of today. Take care. Hello?
Hey Chris, how are you? This is Tire.
Yes, how's the car?
It's giving us some issues, that's why I was calling you. There's a line, it's the high pressure line. It's the line that supplies the fluid from the pump to the steering gear that we are replacing.
Okay, so you think it'd be ready by maybe 3 o'clock p.m. tomorrow, or?
Yeah.
Okay, what's going to be the final cost that I'll owe you guys tomorrow? How much will all this cost me?
Right out the door, including taxes, $22.91.99.
Okay, well, I'm going to go have a glass of whiskey and a couple of Valium to handle this cost, and I will see you folks tomorrow to pick up the car.
Not a problem, sir. Thank you very much, Chris.
All right, take care.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.